Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. It's Cookiecast NFL podcast, week 8. Week 8. Can you believe it? Jeez, season's practically over. Week 8 review, week 9 preview. Pains me to say it. What will we do when the season's over? I know the biggest question on everybody's lips is did my co-host, Mr. Paul Williams, get the win this week? I think a few of you will be disappointed. I know I certainly was. But the only way to find out is to tune in and have a listen, or even a watch if you're a YouTube subscriber, and see if Paul got the win and what else was going on in week 8 of the NFL 2018 season, and find out what's coming in week 9. So here it is.
Go.
Go, go, go.
I have flashing.
Flashing.
And eventually, I also got some flashing.
You didn't like the punk.
So, that brings us happily to... it is the podcast before Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. This is... What week are we on at this point in time?
Week 8.
Week 8. Review. Week 9. Preview. This is Cookiecast. This is the NFL podcast. This is... Can he do it before he burns himself? No.
It's lit.
Put it in through the front. There's three.
Whoa!
You know, every time I do that now, I told you the thing about that she's like, who said that? And I told Sam that story, so now when I do it, Sam's like, who said that? I'm like, shut up, Sam. Week 8 review, week 9 preview, week before Halloween. I should probably move that. That doesn't look at all safe.
Move the pumpkin to the end or something.
Oh, I'm trying to think where else you could put the pumpkin.
For all of you that can see us on the YouTube, it's Halloween tomorrow. So we made the Stats Mistress and only female member of the league, made a NFL pumpkin. I'll have to try and take a picture and sandwich it in to the podcast. Say that all the time. Never do it. We also got new collectibles. Saints.
No.
Steelers, Broncos, got a mini Rams helmet, got a pumpkin. Mr. Cookie, is here today. Stats Mistress, my co-host, Mr. Paul Williams.
Hi.
Stats Mistress and only female member of the league, Miss Lianne Davies.
Thank you.
Newest inductee to the podcast, aforementioned. Erstwhile. Mr. Philip Walls. Not only first time on the podcast, but first time on the NFL podcast. It's a pleasure.
Busting his infamous cherry. His podcasting cherry.
After busting your cherry the weekend.
Well, we'll get into that later on.
We will get into that.
Make me sick.
Yeah.
But surely not as sick as you make yourself.
Very true.
Well, yeah, you both might. You both.
Well, quite right.
I'm absolutely disgusted.
The last words ringing out in my ears as I left the house. Don't forget my shout out.
Yes. So, Mrs. Hannah Walls
Correct.
gets a big shout out for handing down the golden ticket to let. I said if Hannah gave him a pass out tonight, she'd get a shout out on the podcast.
Yeah, she released the shackles.
Hannah,
Excellent.
Cheers.
obviously, that's one mention. You know the podcast rules.
No.
3 mentions.
And you're out.
And you're on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's one
literally
mention.
the opposite of what
Right, let's get into it.
Into the deets.
I'm so excited.
Shh. I'm so excited. Shh. Shush.
Let's just wash
Don't
over
ruin
that.
it.
It's almost like I've waited all season for this.
It's a lot like that. Joining Tim Lacey in the sin bin this week is Mr. Matthew Moore, my opponent, who decided that he was not even going to phone it in this week.
Was it maybe because he's still reeling from the fact that his kicker missing a field goal has cost him a tie? No, it's cost him the win.
So let's get into it, shall we? An amazing game between Matthew Moore's Feeling Good and my very own The Cookie. Can it be any closer than Matthew Moore scoring 103 and myself scoring 104 to take the W? Do we think that might be why he wasn't available this
I honestly
season?
think it might be part of the reason.
I think we'll save the next game.
To be fair, if I can get thumped by somebody who hasn't won all year by 40 points
Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?
and still drag myself in.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm slagging Matt off.
There have been
Not even the right mat.
Yeah, I know.
there have been some
My
names.
Matthew slagging has no...
Boundaries.
There's no
Yeah.
bounds.
Yeah.
There have been some name changes this week, which is very inconsiderate for all. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention Yorkshire's #1 NFL podcast.
Who's number 2?
Nobody cares.
Nobody knows.
We don't discuss.
Doesn't
Okay.
We don't talk about number 2. So it's going to get a little confusing in certain places. Thomas Quinn's I don't need a gun, I've got a donk.
So his mates call him Donk.
I am painfully aware of this. And when asked, I had to ask. I was like,
So
what
apparently
the
from
fuck
Crocodile
is this shit?
Dundee.
Something to do with Crocodile Dundee. Pretty sure he's got the quote wrong.
I think he might have.
Versus Benji Keeps Oxford Heathens.
So,
Thomas Quinn's been absolutely crushing it this season.
It's because he changed his name. That's the only
Unfortunately,
reason.
not this week. So the Oxford Heathens took another win, second of the season, with 93 versus Thomas Quinn's 74.
How many, Quinny?
74 for Thomas Quinn.
absolutely unbelievable.
Don't know. I mean, let's just have a quick look. Just see. I mean, he could have done to have been not posting a 0 with Barner, but I don't. I'm not seeing a lot that he could have done differently. I think Benji was he had a good run. Bearing in mind, Tom's got Todd Gurley who posted 27 points.
Whoa.
You know, it's one of those. Don't think he could have done.
He is the man.
No name changes, but a change of position. Obi-Wan Mahomes, Mr. Colin Wright versus Robert Rafton's Yorkshire Knights. Obi-Wan Mahomes did not manage to post enough of a score with their 79 versus Rob Rafton's 84. Mr. Rob Rafton's Yorkshire Knights takes a whip.
What is going on here?
The worm.
All these people
The worm.
that are not getting wins all season,
You mean
pulling
the-
out wins this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is going on?
Kaepernick's Nike. Matthew Hurley.
I promised Matt I would defend him this week, so I'm on Team Nike.
You are such a liar. You're a filthy liar. Go on, you know, I can just see in your face you're itching.
Versus
I love you, Toots.
somebody has to at the end of the day.
Didn't mean that.
We didn't burn him. Versus Tim Lacey's Squirrel Killers. I'm not even sure that Tim decided to post a team this. Maybe that's it. When you end up against two, so you're just like, very little point in playing a team this week. There's a lot of ones. There's a -4. Mr. Tim Lacey decided that 66 was a good enough score to go up against Toots's 115.
Brady let him down, didn't he?
Brady shit the bed.
12 points.
What did Tim
Brady.
have on the bench, though?
Again, I honestly, he's got. He should have played Trubisky for 21 points, and he's got Tyler Lockett that would have got him 10. He couldn't have physically
Couldn't
won
have
that
touched
game.
him either,
Could not have won that game.
Toots streaking away.
Again.
So
Love you,
yeah,
Toots.
Toots. I mean, Jesus, look at those
Oh,
numbers. And another.
Toots is taking me.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
fine.
ball.
Another name change in the league. It's very confusing. our very own stats mistress, Miss Lianne Davies, with their team Come On Sack One, versus Noctus to the right.
And Jokus.
And Jokins.
And Jokus to the right.
To the left of me and Jokers to the right.
Right. That
I think
makes
that is the
more
idea.
sense. James, yeah, fair enough.
Get it now.
The slowing down of your words.
James Forrester Gray changed his name to that, and apparently a name change did him the world of good.
Yeah.
Lianne decided in '93. James Forrester Gray posted very much like Matthew, 115 to take a win. That's all the games that we had this week.
Yes.
Let's move on quickly, swiftly. Oh no! Wait a minute.
Unfortunately, we do have to talk about one game. Crimea Phil Rivers in the house versus our very own my co-host and yours, Mr. Paul Williams' hide and seek. We all thought it wasn't possible.
On the week that Ezekiel Elliott is on a bye.
You took advantage of Phil though with.
Yeah, I did.
4
players out.
I somewhat took his pants down and had my wicked way with his non-consensual backside.
More than once. 103 times, I think.
100.
Well, you posted a 77 this week, and finally, licking the W is 110 points. Third highest score, I believe, this week. Paul Williams, the legend that is.
Good job you didn't change your name then, isn't it?
1-7. How does it feel?
Hell hath indeed frozen over.
I was going to ask Phil how it feels to be the first person to lick.
It feels pretty damn shit.
Yeah.
Phil.
Well, Phil, it's obvious that you've been crying all weekend because your vocal cords are
Crying
all
at
over the
Phil
place.
Rivers.
That is it. I've been crying me a Phil Rivers.
He did cry, Phil.
Oh,
To be fair, looking at it, Phil, almost nothing you could have done. It's another situation where there's almost nothing you could have done. And Paul had 3 players, 4 or 5 players
let's
posting massive numbers.
Let's not dance around the obvious. Jameis Winston not exactly helping him by completely shitting the bed and throwing, I believe, 4 interceptions, because it could have even been 5.
4.
We might get to find out later in the stats what that looks like.
In that case,
I'm
going to shut my mouth.
Well, no, go for it.
Oh no, it was just that.
Yeah, James Winston. When your quarterback's putting up 8 points, you know you're on a downward spiral, and it looks Boyd. 19 points for Boyd. But like I say, I mean, Paul's got 2 players in the 20s. He's then got a 17, a 13 and a 14. That in itself is enough to just...
All I can say is that it finally all clicked this week. And maybe a week on the bench is all that Zeke needed.
Not
again, but you know.
I don't know. I haven't looked who I'm playing this week, but whoever it is, enjoy that win, because I've got the shittest team this week. Literally, it buys an injury as far as the eye can see. I'm literally at one point I went, so I'm not posting a player in that position this week then, am I? Great. So straight on the waiver wire going, dross, shit. Garbage. So yeah, that was...
You wouldn't think that there would be nothing on the left on the waiver wire in a 12-team league.
Team. Fucking bullshit.
You have to knock someone up for a...
Sorry?
I have to knock someone up?
for a swap.
Why are you getting on the action with the dodgiest of dealings with the gentleman to my left and Mr. Sir Thomas Quinn?
I know what you mean.
Why don't you just
Gentleman's agreement.
Send him a guy that's on your bye week. I understand they enjoy your stashing players who've got bye weeks on their bench.
I can't talk.
He can't, because he gave me a
I was
suspended
the first one to do it. Pretty sure me and Phil have got some business style.
You need to stop allowing people, or I could just learn how to speak properly.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
You need to stop letting people take advantage of you, Phil. You're too kind.
Who's took advantage of me?
It was to your advantage, wasn't it?
Well, technically, apart from me, was shit. But with hindsight is a wonderful
2020.
thing.
I've got 2020 hindsight.
Exactly.
It's amazing. You should see it. Right, what do you want? What do you want next? Do you want stats?
Standings.
No, standings.
Oh, what? Do we have to?
I was thinking getting posted a win. Definitely going to be off the bottom. Fuck you,
How
Tom.
could you be?
So I think I've scored more points than Ben.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you, Tom.
So
You've scored more
this is
than
this is the
people.
best.
Fuck you, Tom.
This is the best bit of the whole thing because we now have to announce.
We have to what? Oh God!
We have to announce.
Should we start at the bottom and just skip the top?
That there is one
Oh no, he's not out on his own, is he?
person.
Oh my God! He's
At
got
the top
outright
of the
lead. Oh,
Love you, Toots.
Oh God! It's the worst kind of week.
We have to announce that there is only one person at the top of the fantasy league this week, and that one person is
Colin Wright! Yay!
everybody's favourite team. Kaepernick's Knight, Matthew Tooties Hurley.
To be fair, he's out there with the most points as well by
He's
Oh,
just,
to give him his
quite a
due.
long way.
Because he's a skillful coach.
He's obviously drafted his team well. He's got him. He's like you say. He's talking to him. He's giving him cash.
Motivational speaker.
Must be
Playing as
the reason why
playing
he's
as a
playing
unit.
so well. Wow!
if we're going breaking words down, I could do it too. Then we fall into the three people that are sitting at the number 2 position. Just it says here to the right. That's what it just says. I think that's
So that'll be the way he's been able to.
yeah.
No,
James
just-
Forrester Gray.
Just have a quick check of that lead because I'm getting worried by it.
It's fine. It's just sitting at the front. So,
Can't imagine that much heat will actually come
Yeah,
out.
there's not a load of heat coming out.
Okay.
So to the right is
Njoku's to the right.
Joker's to the right. Obi-Wan Mahomes, Mr. Colin Wright, is also in the second position, and Thomas Quinn.
So what are they all 6 and 2 now?
Everybody there is a 6 and 2. Matthew Tooties Hurley
7 and 1.
Emily.
Is he?
7 and 1.
Matthew Tootie's Hermely.
Hermely. The sin bin runneth over this week, sitting the only person sitting at number 5. Feeling good, Matthew Moore sitting in the sin bin with a 5 and 3 record. Again, an only man out on his own. Some might say an island. No man is an island, but this man could be an island. The only man at number 6 with a 4 and 4 record. This guy. The Cookie sitting at 6.
Take your hat off to that.
Now we're talking some 7s. There's a 3 people sitting at 7. The erstwhile Mr. Philip Walls, Crimea Phil Rivers.
No, it hurt.
Heavy as fuck, isn't it?
It's painful.
It's
I
really
feel like
heavy.
I've got 2 dimples.
Oh, you have actually.
You have got lines on your head.
Yeah.
See,
Feel free to put it on the arm.
Thank you.
Or somewhere out of the way.
my
Philip Walls at 7. Rob Rafton's Yorkshire Knights at 7. Only female member, Stats Mistress, and new segment creator. We'll come to that later. Miss Lianne Davies with her team, Come On Saquon, all sitting at 7. The other member of the Sin Bin, Mr. Tim Lacey's Squirrel Killers, and the man Benji Keep, both sitting in 10th place. So you guys, sorry I missed that. You guys have got some 3 and 5 records. Squirrel Killers, Oxford Heathens have got 2 and 6, and sitting in comfortably in last place in 12th
Although
position.
less comfortable now.
Hide and Zeke's Paul Williams,
So it's like
my co-host.
twitching uncomfortably on that.
Yeah.
The
hot seat.
anti Matthew Hurley, some might say,
Yeah.
In more ways than
with 1
Ready
and
to
7.
win the next 8 games and like rocket to the top.
Yeah, if only there was another 8 games to go.
The
Why
pressure.
is it not?
We only play 13 weeks, don't
Oh, yeah.
We do
Yeah.
the regular
Yeah.
season.
we? And then there's
the
a 4-week
pressure.
playoffs.
The pressure.
That's the point. So what were the top 4 all at 6 and 2 or better?
Yes.
Shit. I'm really up against it to make the playoffs.
You are, yes.
I need to win all my last games and hope they don't win anymore.
That is true. Is it stats time?
Yes.
Unless we're doing who we're playing next week. You really want these stats, don't you?
I like the stats.
There must be some juicy stats in there. I'm hoping you've missed one off though.
Oh, okay.
Because I do have a stat that just popped into my head that I could bring to the party.
Right, I can never remember. Schedule, is it?
Yeah.
And then...
Scoreboard. Top left.
Week 9.
Week 9.
I can never do it. I can never
Every
do it.
week.
Where's the scores? Scores?
Scoreboard.
Scoreboard, week 9. Here we go. Right.
Boom.
Go.
So, week 9 looks like... Oh, God.
Oh. That's what I call it.
Oh.
Are you playing Kaepernick's Nike?
Nah, I've just I've just said awful, terrible things about Matthew Moore, and then he's just responded saying he's available at 7:30. Sorry, Matt. We didn't know. You've only just sent the message. I personally am going up against the 6-2 Obi-Wan Mahomes. Early reports suggest I'm going to get absolutely crushed this week. Cole, it's a freebie, mate. My team is fucking awful.
Potential playoff spots.
My co-host,
hello everybody,
goes up against the legend who needs to set a lineup. The Oxford Heathens, Mr. Benji.
Dare I dream of 2 wins on the spit?
At this point in time, you are projected to win, but Benji does need to set a lineup. Ooh. This could be a little bit of a game. I like the sound of this game. Our very own Mr. Philip Walls. His team, Crimea Phil Rivers.
Potential name change coming.
Goes up against Robert Rafton's Yorkshire Knights. Ooh. I'll be tuning in for that one.
Is it live on Sky Sports?
Via the red button.
Boom.
Bit of red zone there. Sin Bin Lacey. With his awful team, the Squirrel Killers, goes up against whatever Tom's calling himself these days. I don't need a gun, I've got a donk. He should check that quote.
Right, down to one playoff space left.
Early reports suggest, with full lineup set, that again Tim has decided not to turn up this week. So. Najokers to the right. James Forrester Gray takes on the league champion at this point in time, Matthew 2 Teams Hurley's Kaepernick's Nike. Toots shockingly has done the thing where he hasn't set a lineup until the last minute. But he's also projected to win.
Well, to be fair, the first game isn't due until Thursday.
Yeah, you know what he's like though.
Sadly, yes, I do know.
And the stats mistress, only female member of the league, new segment creator. What is it? Content creator they call them these days. Miss Lianne Davies with her team. Come on, Sack One goes up against my former opponent, Mr. Matthew Moore. His team, the Feeling Good. Early projections say unsure on that one. Matt still needs to finish setting a lineup. But at this point in time, Lianne's projected to win. Who knows which way that will go.
Where's me and Rob?
But tune in.
I know I've got no team. I think I've been 49 points. So
you're on 49 points with no lineup.
You've got Rivers to come back in. You've got Melvin Gordon to come back in.
16.
I mean, it's a tough one. Would you pick Phil Rivers or the pick machine that is Jameis Winston, or is he currently winging his way back to?
He's on his way back to Mr. Quinn, but I may have a waiver claim in for Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Just saying.
It's alright, Lianne's got one as well, and I've got one as well. Everybody's going for the same player. Who's higher on the waiver? Yeah, you shit.
Should be me in theory. I don't know if it works that way.
It's time to stats now.
Yes. We can have some stats.
Right, I'll hand you over to our very own stats mistress. Do you need this?
No, I actually sent it to myself.
Some people, I tell you. Right, stats mistress, go.
Go. Right.
Oh, have you got your pad with your written down ones?
Yeah.
Are they now good?
So week 8, first in the season, not to go into overtime on a single game.
I was kind of hoping that would stay for the rest of the season. I was going
like somebody who's on a losing streak who's lost every week, and you just hope that they keep losing. So that
we were so close to having an overtime game. Fitzmagic almost got it done, and then the Ginger Ninja Andy Dolan pulls out of his ass. What a bastard! What a bastard!
I keep saying it every week. I'm kind of liking what the Bengals are doing at the moment.
Yeah.
It pains me to say.
The Cincinnati Bungles. Please.
Next,
continue.
James Conner became the first Pittsburgh player with 3 consecutive games scoring at least 2 touchdowns. Conner now has 9 total, 2 shy of Le'Veon Bell's high watermark for a season. He also racked up a whopping 32 fantasy points on my opponent's team.
Don't challenge the stats materials.
Is Bell, if he decides he's going to start playing again?
Have you heard what they're going to do?
No.
So he's got up until a certain point to return. If he doesn't return, they can slap him with the franchise tag again.
Oh, really?
So we will essentially just never play again.
So the whole
point, even if he came back, would he play again?
He'd definitely play.
But this kid's kicking his ass. If he's, because to me that suggests that Bell's best season is 11 touchdowns, and this kid's got 9 in 8.
Yeah.
I was saying, I think was it last week or the week before? I was saying, with this much time sat on his ass, if he comes back, is he going to come back as strong as he went out?
No.
He's gonna. We all know you never play a player that's come back from injury or any time out first week back.
Well, bear in mind the reason he's not playing is because he wants to keep his body fresh for the next team that he joins. But he knows that in order to do that, he's got to play some part this season, so they don't franchise tag him.
Yeah, so essentially he just has to walk out on the field.
Basically, I don't know the full in-depth reasoning behind it, but there's something that each team can franchise tag. I think so many players or something like that.
It's to do with the money,
and it means they can pay him a set amount that's less than the quarterback or something like that. I don't know why I'm speaking because I don't know anything about it.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Excellent.
Basically, they don't have to agree a contract with him. They can just give him whatever they want.
Dictionary.
They give him a flat rate.
Pre-arranged.
That player can't negotiate it, and you can do it to like a couple of players. Now, for a player who's there going, I want this much money, and they franchise tag them, and that gets them in a better position. They're great. They get to stay with a team that they love. They get to do X, Y, and Z. For a player like Bell, who goes, I don't want to stay with this team because I can get more money elsewhere, and they go, right, well, we're going to pay you less than you're worth.
Right.
Nobody's winning at this point in time, but
apart from James Conner.
Yeah.
Hit us again.
Despite trailing by double digits for the first time this season, the Rams survived the Packers to improve to 8-0 for the first time since 1969.
And why is that? Because Todd Gurley
is a
fucking
machine.
beast.
Next on the list, the Chiefs failed to score on their opening drive for the first time this season, causing panic, but only briefly. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes strengthened his MVP case with 4 more touchdown passes against Denver. He now has a league-high 26, matching Alex Smith's 2017 total for the Chiefs, which also happens to be a record for a player's first 9 NFL games.
I thought he didn't look overly comfortable at the start of that game, and I think we were sort of saying, I also thought, because I'd said that I thought the Broncos were going to come back strong off a big win, and they looked really good at the start, and I was like, this could be it. Then it wasn't.
Yeah, but it was a big win against the Cardinals, who are fucking shit.
Yeah, but they did destroy them.
Speaking of the MVP, the Rams, Todd Gurley, could be presenting for league honours. Gurley scored his 15th touchdown on Sunday, but showed what a team guy he is by foregoing a 16th in the final minute, going to the ground rather than scoring so his team could kill the clock.
Just an absolute
What a man.
Boss. What a boss.
I bet he's a really nice lad as well.
I bet he is.
Takes cakes to his mum every week.
Straps it into his sock.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not the cakes.
Maybe.
Drew Brees experienced his first interception of the season. I had to work out what INT stood for then when I tried to read it. Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen tied Calvin Johnson's record by surpassing 100 receiving yards for the 8th consecutive game.
Cole, if you're listening to this, don't get excited. That didn't mean that Calvin Johnson's back in the league. It's not what that means.
But you should probably draft him next season.
It might
He's got
still
this
be
guy
on the
throwing
waiver.
to him.
It's taken 4 games and 10 interceptions, including 4 on Sunday at Cincinnati, for Tampa Bay quarterback Jameis Winston to go from the bench to the starting lineup and then back to the bench. He has at least 2 interceptions in his past 5 starts and 17 turnovers in his last 6 appearances.
Whoa.
The Bucks have therefore since named Ryan Fitzpatrick as
Fitzmagic!
So, I think
If he was a kicker, he'd be on his arse by now, wouldn't he? He'd be out the door.
this is the thing. Like, obviously, you don't just drop quarterbacks and just get rid of them like you would with a kicker because the salaries are much higher. But I'm sure I saw something today that apparently there's teams that are potentially looking at shopping him round for trading. So they're looking at the possibility of teams that might be tempted to trade for him. So I think there was talk there was talk about maybe whether seeing if Oakland would be tempted or something like that to swap him for Carr and stuff like that.
Because we were talking the other day about if you look at like the Raiders, like there's pieces of good, good talent in that team. That's why they seem to be stripping them out. And Carr at one point was a potential player.
Before he broke his leg a couple of seasons ago, he looked really good.
Denver's Case Keenum is working on an interception streak himself. He has at least 1 in every game this season, 10 in all, matching Winston and Sam Darnold for the most in 2018.
My oh my.
Adrian Peterson won't forget Sunday's win over the Giants. The Redskins veteran back rushed for a season-high 149 yards. The Cookie won't be forgetting it anytime soon either.
He will not! Said to this guy, you know something, I'm going to roll the dice. Pick up Adrian Peterson. One of the best things I've ever done, other than getting on the Ingram train. Adrian Peterson. Go again.
This was the 6th consecutive year the Jags have played a home game at Wembley Stadium. Unfortunately for them, the Eagles, playing their first regular season game abroad, beat Jacksonville 24-18. Nobody is saying it has anything to do with the after effects of a heavy night out drinking. Apart from me, because I added that.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
$50,000. $500 bottle, £500 bottles of champagne. Several hours before you're ready to play.
And then when we were watching, it was like actually guys on the field,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
people. Because we were like, oh, maybe it's people that weren't scheduled to play. Definitely was.
Yeah.
Looked fresh as a daisy when they were lying on the floor going, oh, I've hurt my leg. Definitely hurt my leg. Fucking hangover.
Jaguars kicker Josh Lambo's kicked a career best 57-yard field goal. Was also the longest ever at Wembley.
Excellent.
And I witnessed it.
And you were
And
there?
you were there.
You were
I
there?
had no idea he was setting a record. Just saying.
Okay, you need to get yourself up to date on your stats before you go to the next game.
Do you have to do a little bit of homework?
You need to channel your inner stats, Mister.
Lie in a stator. I shall work on it.
Deshaun Watson, Texans quarterback, has become the 3rd player in league history, joining Hall of Famers Kurt Warner and Dan Marino, with at least 30 touchdowns in his first 15 games.
Beast.
Touchdown throws. Right, this is more of a question because I don't actually know what this means. So, Russell Wilson, 14 for 17, 248 yards and 3 touchdowns, finished with a perfect 158.3 quarterback rating for the first time in his 7-year career. What does that mean? I'm looking to you.
He did well.
What is
What, 14 to 17?
So you're going to have
That's
3
not perfect, is
incompletions.
Yeah.
But that's not perfect.
You can be perfect without incompletions. I don't know how it works. Again,
Well, it's
I'm
not-
talking, but I don't know the rules.
Perfect, is it?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
anything
it's
but
weird.
perfect.
I think it's to do with the yardage of the throws. I honestly don't know.
Okay. I have to look that up separately.
Take it offline.
Yeah. Congrats to Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, who scored the first rushing touchdown of his career on Sunday and added 3 more through the air. Raiders still lost, but Carr kept them competitive against the Colts.
Still lost, but hey.
Yeah, he was trying.
Have you got anything in there about Andrew Luck?
No.
Not been sacked in 3 games now. It's pretty good going. I don't know if that's him or if that's his offensive line doing wonders, but that's a pretty good start. No sacks in 3 games.
Is that the end of the stats?
No, I've got a couple more.
Okay, go. Deuces.
24th career touchdown for Deshaun Jackson of 60 plus yards, which is the most in NFL history.
And he's apparently want to trade.
Oh, yeah, and put there, he's requested a team transfer but got denied.
Yeah.
Denied!
That might change now that Fitzmagic's coming back in, but we'll see.
Saquon Barkley was the latest player to be shut out by the Redskins defence. Last week was Zeke. For you, I suffered the consequences this week.
Who are the Redskins playing next week?
Find out shortly.
Chicago. Because
So you're Howard screwed then, isn't it?
I think it's Chicago, isn't it?
No, Falcons.
I'm sure there's a team. Oh, no, hang on.
Yes.
You're wrong.
No, I'm thinking of the wrong conference because apparently there's a team they'll have played every AFC East team in 4 weeks running. So I think that's is that the Bears? Because they've already played the Patriots, the Dolphins, and who did they just beat this weekend? The Jets, and I think they're playing the Bills next week. It'll be the first time in NFL history where their teams played all 4 teams from a different division in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There's a stat for you.
Yeah.
That's another podcast today. Cheers around the NFL.
And then my final stat goes out to our fantasy team commissioner. And sadly, you've broken your undefeated losing streak.
Which wanker let that happen?
The undefeated losing streak.
You were our undefeated
I mean,
loser.
some have been calling me the reverse Undertaker. Now there's a little one for you.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Not a big fan of the wins.
I don't like it. I wanted you to go all the way, and I'm disappointed in both of you, quite frankly.
You wanted me to have.
I'm glad that you're here so I can pass on my
Did you want me to have a Browns season so we could have a mock funeral?
Yeah.
For my fantasy team.
Yeah. Yeah, we were going to get out of the garden and we were going to dig a hole.
Wait, where's our free beers?
I mean,
Did say that he was going to wait until he won to go, no, I'm not doing that.
You're very true.
I meant to send you a message today to ask you if any
I agreed with it anyway.
if any parcels had turned up.
No. Save that for another day.
Okay. No parcels have turned up, that's fine.
No
I
parcels.
don't like the sound of that.
Here on Cookiecast, on the NFL part of the Cookiecast,
Is that a particular region's particular number podcast?
Yorkshire's number 1 podcast.
No, I thought so.
Number 1 NFL podcast. I wish we were. We like to keep things as fresh as possible. We like new guests.
Hang on a second. Is this product placement?
We like new items. And we like new segments.
Yes, we do. And it's not that new.
We'd like to
Did you
introduce.
rehearse this before we turned up tonight?
What do you think we were doing before you go? We'd like to introduce this week's newest segment.
So, as we have mentioned a couple of times, when we go through the week's review of games and we guess who is going to win each game, the next week we've never looked back on that.
Except this week we have.
I have actually listened to a podcast to try and capture the conversations we had.
Bloody hell, I'm glad someone did because no one else.
This week will be easier, so you will get a chance to cast a vote, but each week we're just going to look at what
Because you'll only get 2 opportunities. You'll only be on twice.
Okay.
to
Can I,
chip in.
There's no. You won't get a leaderboard position.
can I vote for Toots twice?
You can suck my balls.
No, it's like on the actual games.
It's the actual NFL games.
Oh.
And we felt that to really put your money where your mouth is, off the back of this, you have to put your money where your mouth
Excellent.
is.
Have we done this since week 1?
Have we done what?
Forecast.
I don't know.
Because if we're going to do this, we really should do it right and do it from week one.
So we're going to go back and find whether we did it from week one. And if we did, we're going to get
I
all the
remember
numbers.
doing the podcast with James, and we were going through the games and we were giving our thoughts on who.
Yeah. And that was week 3.
Two, I think.
3. So it's possible we've done it since the beginning.
I think we have.
But I think week 1 was just me and you.
It was because it was me
Because it
playing
was
you.
just me and you. So your suggestion is that you have to put your money where your mouth is.
To the tune of.
I learnt a very important lesson this week.
Where is your mouth? What's
The throwaway is not a good idea. So I each week I go, this is my throwaway game. I couldn't give a shit who wins. It's boring. I won't watch it. But obviously you don't get any points.
Didn't push the vote.
Pig.
Right.
Absolute idiot.
Especially this week.
Okay.
So
A very quick recap. I'm not proposing to go through all the teams, but we have Cookie's votes. You got 11 games right.
Jesus Christ.
That's impressive.
Yourself also have 11 games right. Me on the end, I have 12.
Well done. Good work.
I mean, don't.
If anybody
don't
wants
get me wrong.
to listen to the
Don't-
podcast and check
Don't
those,
accuse me of any sort of,
Out of how many?
collusion
how many games
here,
are
or,
there?
fixing of
14
results.
games.
Well, how many teams were on bye this week?
Well, there's
At least the
4, isn't there?
Seahawks at least
Where's
the
the list of
Titans
byes?
and Chargers
was
were on.
4
Next
on by.
page.
oh, okay. So Leon's got the buys.
For this week.
Half of the leagues on bye this week.
There's
It's
like- there's a
bonkers.
lot of teams on bye.
So, do you want to present your next page?
So what are you saying? You're currently leading by
So
one.
I'm leading
1
on
week,
the leaderboard.
1 win.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is, no matter what we end up doing, I'm bottom of the leaderboard.
No. Nobody's saying that. If you want to think that, then that's...
If you want to word it that way. Then.
I was going to say, can we not do it alphabetically? Still be last.
Yeah.
Can we not do it surname alphabet? Nope, still be last.
Could always do it by age.
Age, still be last. Number of wins in the last.
Number of defeats.
First. There you go. Finally found.
So,
Go.
Oh, this week's game.
So tell us who's on. Do the buys. Let's
So,
go with
6
that.
teams on the bye this week.
Yeah.
Cardinals,
Eagles.
Bengals, Colts, Jags, Giants and Eagles.
That's the other half of my team.
So, yeah. Good luck finding a full lineup.
It can be done. It can be done. It will be done. She will be mine.
Oh yes. Jesus fucking Christ! Just opened up to.
Wow.
Not even joking. Just opened up to go and get the games for this week. Mike Myers on the.
Why?
I was trying to explain the difference to Chev between Mike Myers and
Michael Myers.
Yeah,
So just to clarify, you opened up your phone as I was saying, "Oh yes,
she will be
she will
mine.
be mine."
to Mike Myers.
Excellent.
Why have you stopped doing the fucking weeks? Why has Google decided it doesn't want to tell us what games are
Do you want me to get the games?
Alright, just going back to last week. The reason I was saying that you are welcome to check on the podcast and my adding up of that is because while I was marking through them, Cookie did say, it was like, why have you given yourself a tick there? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And it was a wrong team.
This is fucking bullshit.
There was a little bit of collusion, possibly.
Single man collusion.
Can you do it through the?
I'm doing it now.
You can do it on Game Pass.
Fine.
Right, week 9 in the NFLA. We open up with an absolute dross fest on Thursday night. What the fuck? The Oakland Raiders going to the San Francisco 49ers. Snooze Fest City. Right, Phil. Who is winning that game?
Auckland.
I was going to say the Raiders. I think they might
Andrews, is you throw?
might get a win.
Where is it?
Raiders at Niners.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. It almost pains me to say it, but I'm going to go 49ers. I don't think the Raiders have just got are getting it going this season.
The only reason I've gone for Oakland is because I've got the Duggernaut and I need him to score a touchdown to get.
Yet another person adopting the Colin Wright principle.
The Colin Wright principle of I've got that player, so that team needs to win.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Because reverse psychology hasn't worked for me so far, where I predict everybody I'm playing against because that's come in. So I may as well predict my team.
Why not?
You know when you sometimes get those games where it's like, oh my god, those two teams are so good. That could be a really close game. I don't know which way it could go. I don't know. It's too close to call. This is the same, but for all the opposite reasons. These two teams are awful. They're so bad. So the Raiders just keep getting rid of everybody. The Niners keep getting injured.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a stat that I'd seen the other day. Richard Sherman's first sack in like 6 years or something like that. Because he obviously normally plays cornerback, and for some reason he was up on the line of scrimmage on Sunday for a play and sacked.
It's unusual to see him suited up. It's like he's usually on the sideline.
And I have to pick one. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ!
Unless you just want to spit on me, but I'm doing that myself, so don't worry.
I don't
know what's happening.
Unless you want to throw away a point.
Oh God, the Niners are at home. I'll pick the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work out well for you last week.
No.
Do you need to know what time it's playing as well? Because
this was such a running joke on Sunday.
He's not here. Somebody has to pick up the slack. Tom's got a little bit of ink, and he's now a big boy. So
yeah, that's Andy's theory, is that because he's got tattooed, he's now well hard.
Yeah. Like, when Paul has a couple of beers and...
Oh, here we go. Yeah, true. Right, next game. Good game. Steelers at Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the jersey. I hate the man.
Apparently not.
Steelers win for me. Big Steelers win. James Conner to get another couple of touchdowns. Probably even rushing in with his cock or something.
Philip?
Steelers, simply because I traded Collins and he's not going to score. Again.
Although
he's good for a fumble.
So far it's a Steelers clean sweep.
A what?
Sorry.
I just caught out of the corner of my eye.
Sorry.
These two touching each other up.
You two have just completely glossed over the fact that Phil's just used the phrase "good for a fumble,"
and then decided to give you a good feeling.
Feeling a little tickle. Was that Steelers across the board there?
Steelers for me.
I'm hoping Hannah stopped listening by now.
Should be watching, surely.
Whatever.
It's live streaming as we speak.
I should be with Billy.
It's definitely not live streaming, so you're pretty much safe. Next up, we have the Bears going into Buffalo. As we said before, this is the fourth week of their trip round the AFC East. Philip,
Bears.
Andrew,
Comfortably.
It's Bears for me too.
Bears for me.
Yeah, I can't see anything else other than a Bears win.
-10 handicap.
I'd be tempted on that. The line will probably be about -10.5, to be honest with you, Bears. Even though the Bears are away, but... Next one. A little bit of Fitz magic in the air. Taking his Buccaneers to Carolina.
Oh dear.
Oh.
I've got the jumper.
Well, because you got the jump on, do you want first dibs?
Panthers. There's
Andrew?
only one outcome there.
Panthers versus who, sorry?
Bucks.
Panthers. Don't need to dwell on that one.
That's a divisional game, isn't it? Yeah. Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Bucks in that division. So, yeah. Thoughts?
I don't know.
You do.
I'm going to
Stop
go Bucks.
You're a fucking freak. You are an absolute mentalist. Panthers by 14. I'm even so tempted I'd even put that down as my prediction.
Put it?
Note it.
If I get that right, I want an extra point.
And starring that he called me a fucking freak. So when the Bucks win, I can throw it back in you.
And shit in his mouth.
Oh!
Whoa.
The mouth on this one. The next game. Oh my good God!
Oh,
The Chiefs taking their talents to Cleveland against the head coachless Cleveland Browns.
it's Browns victory all over it, isn't it? I mean, obviously, can you put me down for the Chiefs? But it's definitely Browns victory. Just put me down for Chiefs, yeah. Just saying.
Chiefs.
Should be a Chiefs win, but
How was it close? Was it?
it's the sort of game that you wouldn't be surprised the Browns getting close. In fact, I'm going to go with that. It could be a close one, but the Chiefs will pull out the win.
Chiefs easy.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not going to be close.
Chiefsy.
Yeah.
Nice and cheesy. Next, we have another divisional game. Jets going to Miami.
Ooh. Dolphins.
One for the Dolphins.
I'm, as you might be able to tell, I'm struggling with this one.
The bullshit.
The
Are they, though?
Jets are doing
Yeah.
this, and the Dolphins are doing this.
There's no consistency, is there?
She was loving my little dolphin impression on the podcast.
When I had to
My
hear it
little
again.
dolphin impression.
You're like, what's that, a goat?
Tom Brady?
No. He wasn't in the room.
There you go. You got it. I had a beard in the perfect storm. You seen the movie? I'm going old school. Dolphins for me.
Dolphins for you.
Old school.
Paul.
I'm going to pick my first road win. Oh, no, I haven't. I've picked a road win about 4 times now. Not bad.
What time will they play?
6 p.m.
Ah, makes a difference.
Jets.
Jets then, yeah.
Jets for me.
It's Crowley.
Oh,
I'm going Dolphins.
oh.
Another divisional game. Lions at Vikings.
Oh, I don't want to pick. I don't want to pick it. I don't like it.
Vikings easy.
I'd have to give it to the Vikings because they're at home, personally.
I'm going Vikings.
You're wearing the shirt. Will it sway his decision?
Just to put the cat amongst the pigeons. Lions.
Yeah.
Put me down for Lions.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Could go either way, really.
Yes. It could even be a tie.
What are the records?
Lions are 3-4. Vikings 4-3-1. So very close. Next up, the last of the 6 p.m. games, as we discussed, is vitally important.
It is.
Falcons travelling to Washington.
Falcons.
I think my boy Peterson's going to have another good week. So it's the Redskins. Very rarely you'll hear me say that, but it's the Redskins for me.
Redskins for me.
I'm with Phil on this one. I think the Falcons will pick up the win. They're fresh off a bye. The Skins aren't that good. They're just playing teams that aren't very good. For me. Okay, so we move into the evening games. First up, we have the Houston Texans on a 5-game winning streak,
Oh.
going into Mile High to take on the Denver Broncos.
Teams don't do well at Mile High. There's only one team that does well at Mile High, and that is
The Houston Texans.
We've had this conversation before. I know the Texans are doing well, but it's I have to say the Broncos. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Broncos.
Okay.
Broncos for the win.
Texans. 5-game winning
Go on.
streak to become 6.
Who's Denver quarterback?
Close Keenum.
It's Keenum. The intercept machine.
Texas.
So,
Take them
So,
from me as
so
well.
What do they
it's,
get?
it's not John Elway anymore.
it's not John Elway anymore. It's not Peyton Manning anymore. It's to borrow a phrase from another person.
Hall of
Apparently, I can't remember his name, but there was a quarterback in the league whose nickname was Interceptorus Rex, which I now believe could be Case Keenum's new name.
just before you announce them, I've just looked at the next. Well, certainly the next 3 games, and they are games of the week for me. Especially that one slap in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers Seahawks.
They're the one
The
in
next
middle.
3 games, the one in the middle.
Oh, I see what you mean. Right, okay. Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Gives me wood.
I mean, keep it to yourself.
Oh.
You sick, perverted bastard. Chargers at Seahawks. Go.
I'm going to upset my man to the right. Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks on that one.
Seahawks are at home. Massive advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the volume alone.
Chargers looked good though, and to be fair, they're 5-2, and their 2 losses
The
have come
Super Bowl
against.
bound Chargers.
Absolutely not. They're 5-2, but their 2 losses have come against
The Rams.
the Rams and who the fuck else was it? Someone else decent. Probably the Pats. Oh, it could be the Chiefs. Actually, it was the Chiefs. So Seahawks have looked all right the last couple of weeks. Russell Wilson's pretty much back to his best. He looked pretty good. Did he throw 3 touchdowns in the second quarter?
Yeah.
Alone on Sunday.
Yeah, he's getting back.
I think it's like they won the last 4 of their 5 games.
That's another one that could be tight, settled by a late field goal. Chargers.
Chargers for Paul. Chargers in the corner.
Yes.
I'm going Seahawks.
Squawks!
Squawks for the win.
They can, as long as it's like 72-70.
Defense is getting about 8 minus 85.
That works for me, as long as Rivers and Gordon score the touchdowns.
Right.
Not that.
What you could do is you could have them alternate, throwing it to each other as well.
Well, not to each other. Rivers can just throw them all to Gordon.
Why? What about Gordon just tossing a couple of passes Philip Rivers way?
What, Amendola style?
Yeah.
You're
plays.
just dreaming now, Paul.
So, in theory, if you swap around the location, this is in theory for me what should be the NFC Championship game. Rams at Saints.
This is my game of the week. This is going.
I think it'll be everyone's game.
This is going to be fucking beautiful.
This is going to be one of those
That's
games
on
where
the telly.
yeah, it's one of the 3 evening games, but it's one of those games where I'd be tempted to not even bother watching Red Zone and just watch that next week.
Definitely.
I'm not here. Oh, am I here? Oh, yeah, I'm assuming I'll be back by 9. Yeah,
Definitely.
Rams at Saints. That is tough.
That is a tough pick.
It's got points written all over it, hasn't it?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be...
But does it though?
Well, it's one of those, isn't it? It's either going to be way up there or way down. You could see this going 3-6.
Yeah.
So you could argue Rams had their toughest test of the season on Sunday. At home,
Still took a win.
At home, the Packers made them look ordinary in the first half. They were close to getting shot out in the first half, and then got the safety. No, I think that was the only scoring play of the first half. Maybe I can't remember. The fact that it's indoors, massive help to the Saints.
I don't like it. I'm really struggling.
Is it your throwaway game?
No, because I learnt my lesson from throwaways, because I would have tied for a win last week. I'd have picked it right.
Rams.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'm going to have to go Rams, because...
As much as I want the Rams to win, Breeze is playing some tremendous.
He really
he's
is.
quarterbacking some tremendous football at the minute.
Yeah,
I'm going for it. I'm going for a Saints win.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
And then we move into the the Sunday night football game, which again is a tasty little affair.
It's a tasty game.
Packers at Pats. Ooh. Rodgers Brady. Ooh. Clay Matthews. Can he handle this? I don't think he can handle this.
No idea.
Clay
I
Matthews.
think
Are
you're
you
ready.
ready for this?
Clay Matthews, Moncrief the third.
Nobody's got more love than I do.
Please give it to me.
Yes.
Packers Patriots.
Patriots.
Take take a moment to think and savour it.
I was while you were talking
Taste it in
bollocks.
your mouth, Phil, and then give us an answer.
I did while you were talking bollocks.
You're so rude. So rude and mean.
Quoting.
I so want to be able to say, that's Packers victory. I want to say those words, but I don't want to lose on this. And I'm not an idiot, so I have to say the Patriots. Which it pains me so much to say that.
I thought they were your favourite team.
Patriots,
Yeah.
I love them, they're the best.
I'm going to go with it.
You're going to ride that wave?
Yeah. I'm saying the Packers.
I like the way the SM thinks.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I'm joining her
yeah,
on
there's
that
no
train.
reason. There's no reason
I reckon
not
it's going to be a classic Aaron Rodgers fourth quarter,
Yeah,
2 minute
yeah, that's
drive
yeah.
game winner.
Yeah, that's what it
He's
feels
going to
like.
drive them down the field.
Or-
It's going to be a 4th and 17 or something.
Or-
He's going to scramble for the first 2 and then just absolutely
classic.
heave it.
Yeah, classic Aaron Rodgers, Hail Mary, almost the entire length,
Jimmy Graham
and it'll be
going up,
It'll be
gets
either
it one-handed,
catch
it bobbles, he manages to get it against his
against his
bell
chest.
end or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah,
and he'll either fall to the ground without the ball.
If you think that, why not come on over to our side and...
I can't, because I think he'll fall to the ground and they'll review the play, score a play in it, and they'll review it and they'll say ruling on the pitch is overturned.
Well, when is a catch?
Not a catch.
And finally, rounding out the week,
Bit of a dross on.
we have the Tennessee Titans taking their talents all the way to Arlington, Texas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Philip Walls,
Yes.
resident Dallas Cowboys expert.
Yep.
Go.
Cowboys.
The man has spoken.
I'm joining him.
Yeah.
And I need a Cowboys victory this week. Need a Cowboys victory. And a good one as well.
As much as
Got
I'd
one
like
on your
to say
team.
the Titans, it's going to be the
I
Cowboys.
need Dak to get some.
Yeah, I'll go with it. I'll round out the four-way with a Cowboys victory and a big. I'd like to see a big 200-yard Zeke game personally.
I bet you would.
Selfish.
Wouldn't be bad. I'm not playing you again, so don't worry about it. If I was, it'd be an easy victory, wouldn't it? One win, and I'm. I feel like
How many beers have you had?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Like about 3.
And then drove.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
bad.
it should have been 5.
5 and
really.
drive, innit?
5
If it
and drive and
rhymes.
5. That is the end
That's
of
the
next
end of
week's
the
games. Is there anything else on the agenda? Did no get an agenda?
No.
I have nothing else
No.
for this week's games. I think we've offered out an open house. Not to all of Yorkshire.
But this is Yorkshire's number 1 podcast.
Not Yorkshire's number 1 podcast.
NFL.
Is it this week we're opening the doors for Football Sunday?
2.
Anyone
All
wants to come?
sundry.
Oh.
Anyone within the sound of this podcast.
Anybody within these walls or in our fantasy league, not the whole of Yorkshire. I will reiterate that. We don't want that Facebook craze of posting your party on Facebook.
Skins party?
Everyone turns up. Is that it?
I believe that
Have we
to be
rounded up nicely?
Yeah.
Within plenty of time as well.
Yeah.
Well,
It's good fast fickle.
right.
Indeed it is.
Thank you to you for freeing up time.
Thank you for having me.
Hannah,
One more when you're on next week.
one more and you're on. Bring your stats. Fight the stat mistress for stats.
A stat mistress off.
If
That was
only.
my stomach.
Hungry?
You might have had his tea, Willie.
I did have something. I may have accidentally eaten 3 packets of beef jerky on the way over to pick up this man, and then I may have accidentally gone to the shops and bought a chicken and mushroom slice. Shout out to James Keep. Does like a nice slice.
He also doesn't like you to use his real name on the podcast.
Forgot about the
Because
witness.
he's on
I
the
forgot about the witness protection. Jesus.
I caught him with a beauty. I caught him with an absolute beauty today.
An absolute zing.
A witness protection beauty. Thank you to you. Thank you to you. Thank you to you.
Very welcome.
And
Thank you.
let's call the ball.
See you later.
Oh, by
Until
the way,
next week, folks.
it's podcast time. Let's do this. Hey! Because we didn't do it at the beginning.
Fuel bars.
So there you go. Can you believe it? He finally got the win. What a disgrace. Well, you know, you can't win them all, or in certain people's cases, you can't win many. So yeah, week 9. Looking forward to it. Good games coming up. Looking forward to that Rams game. Whew. For you YouTube watchers, subscribe, click the bell, drop us a comment. How about that? For everybody, jump over to cookiecast.com. Send us some social media love. Send us an email if you like. Tell us how you're doing in your fantasy league. What are your predictions for next week's games? Do you want to get in on the prediction action? Pretty sure that somebody was supposed to place a bet at some point, but nothing came of that. So yeah, until next week, where we'll be reviewing week 9 and previewing week 10. Can you believe it? But until then, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.